Don't underestimate the stress of indecision. This phrase has been going on in my head for a little while now because I was talking to somebody about it. And this is the thing. It is super stressful to be in your head trying to figure out what to do. If you can't make a decision right away, it keeps you from being able to actually be present in whatever it is that you're doing and how you're being. And there's so many layers of what I want to say to this. But one of them is it's an embodiment issue. Like you get stuck in your head, it's swirling around, you can't decide, you're going back and forth, and you're kind of spinning on the same questions. So the first thing to do is to do a bit of a grounding exercise. And I just want to give you one that's been really useful to me. And you can use it as you like, but it's about getting in your body connected to the earth. So if you just, I'm not going to actually lead it, I'm going to tell it. You can do it on your own. So the inhale is about experiencing activity, engagement, doing, right? And that's where all of the heightened energy is. So the heightened energy of figuring out what you're trying to do is kind of like an inhale. You get to enough, right? There's a natural inclination to exhale. And the exhale is about letting go. It's about letting it all go, right? And this is part of the decision-making process, right? So in the inhale, you're sort of gathering information, right? The exhale, you're just dropping in, letting everything go, releasing, settling. And really what you're doing is you're becoming aware of being part of the earth, part of the ecosystem, part of whatever it is. You're letting go of individuation, right? Dropping in to a greater knowing, right? There is in you a greater knowing. At the bottom of the breath, and this is really key, at the bottom of the breath, when you have let go of everything, and you have to, do the cycle of breathing a lot of times sometimes to really get to a feeling, a somatic experience of relaxed, of letting go, of being present, right? Give yourself the time for a number of cycles, and then notice that pause at the bottom of the breath. There's a kind of still point, a kind of settled place. Whew. And you can sit there until, and it's a pause. It's not a holding, just pause. And notice in that place when there is a natural inclination, a desire to inhale. And you know exactly what to do. You know to inhale, right? Your body knows when it's settled and when it's had enough relaxed, when it's had enough grounding, there's a natural desire to go towards the inhale, to turn direction. This is true in decision-making as well. All right, so there's the grounding exercise of doing this settling and finding the still point and noticing the desire to inhale. That's a grounding exercise. But there's also the exercise of doing that with your thought process. And part of what might be happening is there's a natural knowingness at the bottom of the breath. Once you're settled, once you've let go, once you're in that still point, I need to figure this thing out in order to make this, or I have this first step, or I know what the answer is, right? Sometimes you don't know what the answer is yet, right? And it may be that you still have to gather information, but you know what that next piece of information is. Or it may be that you're not ready to make that big leap, but you know what your first step is that feels really right. So letting yourself ask, what is it that is clear out of that still point? Don't expect it to be the whole thing. Maybe it's one little tiny part of the decision making. That's for big decisions. Little decisions like, what am I doing right this minute? Let yourself feel into it. You know, like, am I going swimming or am I going out to the woods to make a video? I'm going out to the woods to make a video. There's a knowingness. You can trust it. It's there. But you have to settle and you have to let go. And you have to find that still point and then trust the impulse, the intuition that comes out of that. Is it, I need more information? How do I get it? Is it, this is the next tiny step? Or is it, this is what I'm doing? This is the direction. Hope this helps. Talk to you soon. Val Gilman, Taproot Arts and Insight.